Hey, I'm back, and before we get started, I just want to say over the next few weeks, I'm going to be redoing some of the playlists on my channel, so it'll be easier for you to find things. Over time, like my channel's kind of changed, and so I'll be doing that. Also, I'll probably be doing less news stories. I'll do them every once in a while, but I'm going to do less of those, probably more of the 3D sound walks and maybe some other things. Hopefully that'll be interesting for you. And on top of that, I'm planning to do another 3D sound walk, but I want to do it a little bit differently. I want to do it like a choose your own adventure style. So instead of the normal 3D sound walks I've been doing where you just go one way and you have to follow me, I'll let you choose if I go left or right, etc. So you can go to like new videos and you can choose your way around places. So before I do that, let me know if you think this is a good idea, because this is probably going to be lots of work for me and it might be difficult. So frankly, I don't want to do it if nobody cares and if it's going to, like waste everyone's time if you don't like it. So I'll leave a poll. If you like the idea, vote yes. If you don't like it, vote no. But enough of that. Let's get into the video today. What I want to talk about today is things that are exclusive to Japan. And what I mean by that is Japan has lots of things that they really only sell in Japan, and there's of course some things that, like native Japanese plants or animals, and there's nothing you really do about that, but there's lots of products that you only see in Japan, and I guess sometimes it makes sense, but a lot of the time I don't think it does. But let's talk about the good and bad. I'm going to talk about the bad parts first. So one of the bad parts is, of course, if you live in another country, you can't really get these products. And so for those of you who are outside of Japan, you're probably thinking like, I wish I could try this, or I wish I could eat this, or, whatever. And that's a bad thing for you, but it's also a bad thing for people actually in Japan. And the reason is, lots of these people, they have their jobs as like making kimonos, making tatamis, or whatever. And their business recently has been decreasing because of the decreased population in Japan. So it's bad for them. Their profits are going down. But I think if they sold these things to people in other countries, they could probably make their money back. One of the problems is lots of Japanese people only think of Japan. I think this is a common problem. It's not like an exclusive Japanese problem. In America, people only think about America, etc. But the problem with them is they're actually losing money because of this. One example is like the manga industry. So recently they said, the sales of manga have been going down and all these things, but really they should have been selling manga to other countries a long time ago. I know you're saying, Chandler, they do sell manga in other countries, which is true. But as far as I know, I think maybe they changed this now, but you can't get manga until sometime later. They take a long time. They, translate it, and then they, send it to the US. But it's 2017. At least it is now when I'm recording this. And you can send things out digitally. So just at the same time when somebody writes it, have somebody write the manga, edit it, and then as soon as it's edited, send it to a translator, have them translate it, and then you can release it the same day as the Japanese version. You could do it in multiple languages, in English, French, etc. And then you could have subscribers all over the world. I think they have some kind of deals like for copyrights for anime, but I'm not sure if they do for manga. And even if they do, like newer manga they make, they could, just bypass this and just sell it themselves through an app or something, and they could probably make a lot more money, but I don't know. I think they are starting to do more digital releases now, but it's like 2017. You should have started in like 2010 when people, started using smartphones. It's not too late because there's no other country really making manga besides Japan, but I don't know why they waited so long. They lost probably millions of dollars by waiting so long to do this. So that's one of the problems. I gotta give you other examples like kimono makers, where the kimono makers, they're like, nobody wants to buy kimonos anymore, which makes sense because obviously when people buy kimonos, they're so expensive they keep them and then they give them to their children or grandchildren, etc. And so nobody really needs 15 kimonos. But I think people in other countries would probably buy them, and not only the kimonos, but also the fabric itself is very, very nice if you haven't tried it before. But they sometimes make like hats on sides for hats, or like the backs of jackets, or you can do lots of things with it, and it looks really nice. They have very intricate, beautiful patterns. So I think if they just sold them overseas, or sold at least the fabric, they could probably make a good amount of money on that. But like I said, they don't think about that, and I think one of the problems is they don't have in their mind like, maybe I should make an English website or a French website, etc., and ship it worldwide. I think if more thought more internationally, they could make their money. But let's talk about the good things. I know you're thinking like, what's the good part about this? But I think one of the good parts about this is because they only think about like the Japanese market, they make lots of unique things that I think if they thought more internationally, they wouldn't do. So for example, lots of like the taste test I do, they have like very interesting flavors of Kit Kats or other things. Obviously Kit Kat is from America, but in America they don't have all those different flavors. They just did that because the Japanese market likes new things, and when they have these like new flavors, people buy them. And the same thing with Starbucks. Starbucks has a new flavor in Japan probably like every month or so, sometimes twice a month. I think now I went in there, they had some new like original tea flavor. It's not green tea, it's like normal tea frappuccino, which I've never seen before. They have like some kind of watermelon drink, they have a lime and mint drink, and then I think they have one other one, key lime and yogurt. So they have like 4 seasonal drinks out at the same time. I don't know what they're doing, but I haven't tried all of them, but I tried some of them, and I think they're pretty good. So I think that's one of those things that they really cater to the Japanese market, and it helps. And on top of that, with CDs, which cost more in Japan, lots of artists decide to add bonus tracks to their CDs, or others decide to have some interesting like album artwork. And a friend of mine actually goes and finds these used CDs, or sometimes new CDs, buys them, and then sells them online to people in Australia, America, Europe, etc., because you can't get these outside of Japan. So although it seems kind of bad at first, there are some good things that come from it, and I think it allowed them to make lots of unique things. So I don't know if this is good or bad, but I hope they think more internationally so more people can enjoy these things. Like, for example, I guess about 2 years ago I made a video on miso shingen mochi. Check it out here. And in that video, I told people you need cool agar. And cool agar is really difficult to find outside of Japan. And I don't know who the maker of this is, but I think if they just ship this to other countries, people would use it. There's lots of uses for this besides just making miso shingen mochi, and people can make all sorts of things, but company just really doesn't seem interested in it. I think if they just put this on Amazon, people would buy it. Even if you're not selling a ton of them, how much does it cost to ship some to Amazon.com or Amazon.uk or whatever they have? I don't know. But we'll see. I think Japan is gradually becoming more international and thinking in this way. So hopefully this will help some of the businesses, take off and return to profitability. But that's just my thoughts on it. Tell me what you think down below, and subscribe if you haven't done that. And also, as I said before, tell me what you think of the idea of Choose Your Own Adventure 3D sound walks. Until next time, see you.